Hello out there, Dark Age of Camelot community. I see I have to make yet another video because we have some people in the Illuminati and the federal government that just don't seem to know when to quit. And they went ahead and bullied Broadsword to suspend me for 3 days for disruptive behavior, objectionable content in public chats. Okay, here's what happened. This is what's pulled from the server side log, okay? This is me talking in the advice channel so the entire realm can see how this player admitted he has used the Alteristepper program on me to hack the game, and he was using it to kill me last night. Okay, I'm explaining how to identify those players. And look who else was online. Oh, Promisse. What a shock. And it's interesting because I was able, okay, to play since about 6:30 last night all the way up till almost 9:30. And I didn't have one issue all night. And you know who wasn't online? Gems and Promisse and Nuppies and Killigore and Aluus, you know, all the regulars, okay? And I was explaining, you know, how Duell made, you know, use of extortion on my YouTube channel, which is a felony, of course. So I'm reporting a crime. You're not allowed to break any law while using the service. So I'm reporting that these players are breaking laws. So I'm not breaking the rules. It may be disruptional for Promisse because he's blackmailing Broadsword like Jenny Pala was. But I know that, you know, I actually found the pattern for how you can identify them. Okay, so let's take a look at what the chat logs don't show you. All right, this would be everything that I recorded from last night on my logged chat session. All right, and I made sure to back this file up on my drive too. Okay, so I log in. I see Aluus is online like usual, flexing his muscles and playing Dark Age of Communism. Okay, I private message him. He comes out publicly instead of talking to me. He won't talk to me knowing I have chat logging on because he's invoking his Fifth Amendment right, even though he's a liberal and liberals hate the Constitution because he knows he's going to fucking jail for the rest of his days when this resolves. Okay, so he starts asking me about my medication, and I tell him to tell me. Okay, and he won't tell me because I remind him that only the federal government has medical history information, and I want to know how he obtained it without a fucking warrant. Okay, notice he won't tell me. All right. Then he asks me how much I weigh, and I tell him, well, you know, because you already know at my last doctor visit when I got my ECG done. Okay, we talk about Warren Buffett a little bit. Okay, one of my friends was online, but I don't log chat sessions with her because I trust her and I don't need to. He's a liar, so I have to log his chat sessions. Okay, so I mentioned about my time punches. Okay, you can see Yuruma was online last night. All right, he's probably the most chill player in the game. He could probably vouch for me on this one. So let's see. I remind him that the federal government's going to be the laughing stock of the world when this is over. Okay, and you can see there's all kinds of players talking in region and stuff, and I'm not even paying any attention to them because they're not bothering me. Okay. Let's see. Notice they even started trolling me a little bit, saying that scripters were just FBI plants. I'm sure the FBI is going to really appreciate that, by the way, because I doubt that. But I mean, you know, I ignored it. Okay. Except for this guy. When he said that, I did message him. Okay. But, like, I ignored the Bitcoins and things like that. Like, I hate the Feds so much. I ignored it because I don't care about that stuff when I know it's just trolling. But while I was messaging Bama Blap about the blackmail and extortion, Aluus admits that he uses the program. So he admits he's cheating, okay? All right. And that's how I figured out the pattern, because he finally admitted to it. See, the more truth I uncover, they can't keep calling me crazy. They have to start giving stuff up that's true. All right. And of course, as soon as he logged off, as soon as Aluus said it, and what he does is if he doesn't log off, he changes tunes. All right. Promisse and Gems log in like clockwork. All right. Because essentially what I'm doing, yeah, see, he relogs on a new tune thinking that I won't see him, but he sits idle in the relic towns with his Alteristepper program, monitoring what's going on in the game and using Discord to cross-realm spy and kill people that won't play Dark Age of Communism. Oh, this one was actually pretty funny, because they did try to use a plant at Preston Chevy to total out my car, and I reminded him that, by the way, how well did you guys work out when I paid my car off and kept it with a fucking credit card? Considering his fucking employer can't buy a loaf of fucking bread without selling a fucking treasury note to China to fucking pay for it. And that's what it was. They thought they were going to get me into another vehicle low-jacked by fucking OnStar, because I cut the wires to my OnStar. Okay, and you can see I'm actually talking about another player. She plays a hunter. Okay, like I am completely respectful of most people. Okay, this is something that doesn't occur when Aluus and Promisse and the regulars that are controlling the game and turning it into Dark Age and Communism aren't online. When they aren't online, people will actually take towers and cut ports. But when they're online, they won't. And you can see that right here. Yoruma's telling them not to take the tower and cut their ports so they can keep the action quick and fast-paced and keep the realm points racking up for the money laundering. Now, they know what's going on, but these people are holding stuff over them and blackmailing them and, you know, extorting them and bullying them. And then you can see I had to switch realms because they were sending people to kill me, which was Killicor, par for course. They won't get Swiffy online so I can tell him about it, but he's normally one of the ones that runs with him and Nuppies also. Which it was really funny when I told Nuppies about, watch Nuppies fucking use a run-through on a damn doppelganger. Fucking dude has hacks and he's got to fucking use run-through on a fucking doppelganger. I got to get a recording of that. So as we move through, like I said, there's people that are talking normal. And there you go. He admits again it's Alteristepper. I told him privately, go to Eden and don't come back. The reason they don't want to play on Eden with their hacks is they all have the same hacks. They can't kill each other. Their battles are literally boring. They want to play on the live servers because they have an advantage where they can't be killed and they can control the whole game. And they don't like me because they can't control me. And in here, I made sure to remind him that, you know, he probably has a master's degree in something with some fancy government job, and he's getting his ass handed to him back out of the high school diploma. This is where I toggled my chat logs because I was talking to my female friend in Alb about some things, and I don't use chat logging with her. And then once again, he changed tunes now to the third tune. And once I started talking about JFK and the CIA, he logged out for the night. There's Gems like fucking clockwork. He's also an asshole. This is another player, MILF Magnet, that had the little gray RP in parentheses next to his name, and I'll get to that in a moment. And that's actually where I get to the part where they're pulling from the server logs. And Celis, I was standing next to him at a keep, and I was stealthed, and we got flanked on the left side by a bunch of mids, a full group of mids. Okay, and see, this is where I start, right where it's pulled from the servers. Okay, and look who logged out. Gems has his bot account in Anon, so nobody can see that it's online. Okay, and I mentioned that, and he switched that and took it off because he knew I was calling him out. I reminded them that role-playing is no excuse to break any rules of the game, which is on Dark Age Camelot's website. And bing, 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 bing. We have a winner. Look who is online. So we know who made the appeal. And we know who made the bullying. And of course, here is me telling somebody about the evil cloak pattern being a symbol of Satan and a symbol of the Illuminati as given to me by player Rachel's Blades, an Albion infiltrator, which was from my chat logs on May 2nd. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to file a dispute to have my account reactivated since Broadsword is being blackmailed. But I should not be blackmailed because these players are cheating and I'm telling players how to see that it's happening, which is legitimate advice because these players are breaking the rules. Okay, so I'm not actually breaking the rules by doing it. What I'm doing is exposing them and they don't like it, so they're bullying Broadsword to suspend my account and punish me. And even if Broadsword's doing it on their own, it still comes back on them because they're still blackmailing them. Broadsword doesn't get a choice in the matter. So to do that, you got to go to their website, to account and support. Dispute. Dispute at darkageofcamelot.com. Okay, that will open up your email. Now, for the purposes of this video, I went ahead and already copied that entire document. Now, since I'm using Windows, which, does anybody notice my email's available, my social security number's available on my YouTube, my credit score's over 800, I have a $21,000 line of credit, and nobody's stealing my identity. Has anyone noticed that? It's a real head scratcher, ain't it? All right, why is it not opening? That's account settings. Okay, well, since this wants to be difficult, I guess I'll just have to do this manually. I have not sent an email from AOL brand new in a long time. Move to new mail. All right, in the meantime, we'll move this to saved mail, just in case I'm not crazy and the government really is involved and I need a paper trail. That way, if they try to blame Broadsword, no, they can't blame Broadsword because I've already proved that Broadsword's being blackmailed by Promisse, just like they are by Jenny Pala, which means Killicor and Nuppies are probably involved, and Swiffy's definitely involved. There's no question about that. Let's see, new mail. Ah, compose, there we go. Okay. Okay, tab. Subject. Okay, paste. Okay, so there is all of my chat logs. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and type and get this sent off. I do have 3 days off. So my next DVD in the stack that I bought earlier this week over the weekend is the first installment of John Wick. And, of course, I got the old PlayStation, the original Xbox, and Super Nintendo. I do need a hard drive for the 360, but I guess maybe I'll wait for Special Agent Melanie to call me back with the letters I mailed out. Like a fucking FBI agent's gonna fucking identify by their first name. Okay? Now, since Promisse has a lot of pride and doesn't want to swallow it, and these people really think that they stand a chance, let's go ahead and review a couple things here. One, for the people that are involved that are with the federal government hijacking this game. My mother worked for you guys twice. She served in the United States military in the Air Force before I was born and received the DD-214 dishonorable discharge. Okay. Then she worked as an oil drill rig inspector out west before she retired in Montana and passed away of esophageal cancer in 2016. She hated the federal government, not because they exist, but because they're lying, pathological hypocrites that lie, cheat, and steal while telling everybody else they're not allowed to lie, cheat, and steal. So take my mom's advice, folks, and remember, don't lie, don't cheat, and don't ever steal. Your almighty government hates competition, okay? And two, the CIA and the NSA have 323 million plus people in the United States that they can pick to illegally obtain information through the PRISM surveillance database. And they chose to pick on the one person that actually likes the IRS and does not have a problem with them because they are law enforcement, loves video games, hates the fucking government, is not afraid of the government, and has been waiting his whole life for the government to come after him and try to mess with him. And of course, I let them know, I got to run. Work comes up in about 90 minutes, something that professional gamers know not of. I also gave Promisse a couple of my prior stories from my, sluttier days of sleeping around to let him know that, unlike these professional gamers, I have actually had sex and enjoyed the thrill of the experience of what it is like to have sex with a real life, breathing, three-dimensional female. I've actually had sex with quite a few of them. Something else they know not of. As always, folks, thanks for watching.